Today on the program, is space exploration worth the cost? And the war on Christmas hits home.
War on Christmas? You think it's really a war on Christmas?
Yes, I do.
Oh, give me a break.
Hello and welcome to the program. I am your host, Fat Man.
And I'm Little Boy.
And this is our netcast for the second week of December 9th.
Yes.
2011.
Yes.
And, well, as always, I have to ask, Little Boy, how was your week?
Week's been relatively uneventful. I've been training for that half marathon. Family's been a little sick with the flu. I've been fighting a little illness myself, so it's made it a little bit more difficult. But, you know, we're doing okay. Looks like everybody's pretty much on the mend. How about you? How's your week been?
Busy. Very busy. I don't know if anybody noticed, as Little Boy did bring up in the pre-production. Took us a little longer to get the video out last week. The website, some of the issues that we had, as well as we are within a few weeks of our new studio.
Yes, we keep teasing that, but it's actually starting to look closer and closer to actual reality.
And so that hopefully next week, fingers crossed, will happen, but if not, definitely right before Christmas, our Christmas episode.
Yes.
I'd like to have the new show up.
I think that'd be awesome.
Also, I wanted to thank everybody for viewing our site.
We've had an incredible amount of views on the site. Way, way more than I was ever expecting. It's quite humbling, actually.
It is, and thank you very much for coming to our site and listening to us on our weekly rant. You know, yes. We had a few emails this week. A lot of people
your rant, and then my bringing reason back to the show.
Reason.
I am the voice of reason.
You are the self-proclaimed voice of reason. That's absolutely true. He's self-proclaimed voice of reason. So, you did say you were having some medical issues this week, and I understand that because, you know, he does take psych medication.
Yeah, right.
No, but you're okay, though, right?
Yeah, I'm fighting a kidney stone, actually. I don't know if you've ever had one before.
Nope, but I heard they're extremely painful. Yeah, I hope I never have one.
As Cosmo Kramer would say, it's no picnic.
I remember when he had one. That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we have a long show today, and we don't want to keep rolling into these one-hour shows. Although, to be honest with you, our views on the one-hour shows are quite a bit higher than the views on the smaller shows. So I don't know if people search by that or
I think it's just because the hour shows are more recent and we're getting more and more people watching them, you know. I think we need to try and go around 45 minutes, but whatever happens, you know.
Yeah, we're gonna do that for you guys out there. I mean, I know if I'm getting bored, then you got to be getting bored. So
we can sit and fight for 3 hours, which we have before plenty of times.
Which is fun.
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm going to start today with a article that actually was sent up by Little Boy. This is. Do you want to take it, Little Boy?
Go ahead. No.
Okay. I watched the O'Reilly Factor. I don't know if Little Boy watched O'Reilly Factor, although I would believe he doesn't.
I watch it sometimes, but I just usually get angry and turn the channel because he's such an idiot.
In your opinion. Every year he kind of does something.
That's what the show is.
I know, it's in your opinion, so I just got to make sure that everybody knows.
Everybody knows that.
Just making sure that everybody knows that it's just your opinion. Okay. The rest of us are fact. Anyway.
I trust that there's more people that have that opinion besides just me.
I would say, I'm sure the rest of the people that have been with you this week in your medical hospital, they're definitely on your side of thinking. But anyway, every year he kind of does something about Christmas as far as consumers talking about
He invents
Christmas.
A war on Christmas every year.
Every year he talks about it somehow.
He invents it.
This year he's talking about war on Christmas, but it's interesting because last year he was saying how a lot of places you go to don't say Merry Christmas or, you know, everybody's saying Happy Holidays or have a good holiday. Well, this year it seems that people are talking a little more about Christmas. A lot of the stores that I have been to, and I think that's kind of where he was getting, except that if anybody watches The Daily Show, did you see, and I posted on the website as well.
I read a little article on it. I didn't watch the video, but I read a little bit of an article. He kind of cracked jokes about it. I thought that Jon Stewart's a pretty funny guy. I actually do plan on watching the video. I just haven't yet. It's tough for me to watch that at work, and I haven't had time at home yet.
And as we were saying a few shows back, they actually get a lot of people watching there to see. They get a lot of news out of it, even though it's not a news show.
Right.
But he was saying, and it's kind of funny because this year, a lot of the beef with O'Reilly is the fact that people are saying Christmas, but is it just to get customers? And not really because they believe that it's Christmas, although it is Christmas and there's a reason for this season.
I mean, do you think that there's really a war on Christmas?
I think that the politically correct crowd did pull a war on Christmas.
Well, first of all, don't you think using the word war is a bit of an insult to people who are actually fighting a war?
Yeah.
Don't you think that that's kind of overdoing it a little bit? Calling it a war on Christmas, I think, is a little bit dramatic and a little bit insulting to people who are actually out there fighting a real war.
No.
Oh, absolutely.
Here's the thing. Maybe war is a little harsh of a word.
Not harsh, a little inconsiderate.
War doesn't always mean exactly the same thing. It doesn't mean, explosions and gun battles.
No, it means explosions, gun battles, or a card game.
See? So they could be talking about a card game.
Which we know they're not.
Well, really, what do you feel about that? Do you think that the political correct climate killed Christmas?
No, absolutely not.
So you think that
Christmas is going strong.
Yeah, but saying Christmas. I'm not talking about the actual holiday.
Saying
federal
the word
holiday,
Christmas?
I believe. Saying Merry Christmas and how that really became...
First of all, if somebody says Happy Holidays to you, does that offend you?
No.
So then what's the deal?
Well, the deal
what
is...
if somebody chooses to say...
But they do get offended if you say Merry Christmas to them.
Who are these people? I think that there is a very small group of people, and this is one of the things where a small group of people who might make a big deal about something is blown into something that it's not.
Well,
it's not a big war on Christmas. You'll have a few people who get offended when you say Merry Christmas. Not just people who are maybe not religious, but you have, not everybody celebrates Christmas.
Well, Christmas is a federal holiday. So, and it is...
But not everybody
Christmas.
celebrates.
It's not
not everybody celebrates
December
Christmas,
25th
though.
is holiday. It's Christmas. It's a federal holiday.
So who cares if somebody says Happy Holidays or Merry Christmas to you? Why? I don't know why people make a big deal about it.
Well, that's exactly what I'm looking for. So you don't really care if Christmas is all over the place, if the TV says Christmas specials, and I don't
think a lot of people stop that from happening. You'll find a few instances of it, but I don't think it's rampant and I don't think it's a big problem.
Well, the political correct climate was to say Happy Holidays.
Yeah, but is that really out there so much? I mean, is there really a lot of places where...
I don't think anymore. I think there used to be. I think if, when I was a kid, it was Christmas, 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 and then all of a sudden, maybe 10, 15 years ago, it wasn't.
Well, it honestly isn't just Christmas. It is holiday. It is holiday time. So anybody who says, I know that there's people out there, and I've done a lot of reading, that get offended when you say Happy Holidays to them. They say, it's not holiday, it's Christmas.
Well, I could get offended by that, I guess.
By somebody saying Happy Holidays to you?
Well, I'd say, hey, it's Christmas. Say Merry Christmas to
But
me
maybe they're not referring to that single day. Maybe they're referring to the holidays.
Maybe
so why would that offend you? Why would that offend you?
With that kind of thinking, then...
Somebody saying Happy Holidays to you really would offend you? You have very, very thin skin.
With that kind of thinking, then, do you say Happy Holiday on Memorial Day?
No, but Memorial Day is a little bit different. No, but you're not comparing apples to apples here.
Why am not?
Memorial Day is one day, maybe a weekend, and people will say Happy Memorial Day weekend. But Christmas time is something that started in July, for crying out loud, with the stores and stuff. Christmas time is a long period. It's not one day.
So you can say Happy Holiday for Easter.
You could be referring to you're not comparing apples to apples here.
Why not?
You are not. Well, because you never do. That's the way you work.
I have heard, and it happened to me a couple weeks ago at Walmart, have a merry holiday. One day. So what? Singular. They didn't say holidays.
So what?
Well, I
know. Is Christmas a holiday?
What I'm saying is, are you
Is Christmas a holiday?
Is Memorial Day a holiday?
Sure.
Well, there you go. So from now on, you're going to say Happy Holiday for Memorial.
But if somebody said Happy Holiday, it wouldn't offend me.
Well, the question is it...
But you're telling me that I have to say something. I'm not telling you. You say from now on you have to say because I believe that it's a holiday.
Because you're just saying, well, so what? So they say Merry Holiday. That's fine.
Yeah.
If you want to say that, I never tell anybody they have to say what they don't have to. I don't say you have to say this.
You just did. You said from now on you have to say Happy Holiday.
No, but that's what they were saying to the people who wanted to say Merry Christmas.
Saying who's these they?
The political correct left.
They were saying you have to say this? Who did they tell?
How many companies told their employees that they could not say Christmas?
I have no idea, but that's their company. They can have their employees say whatever they want.
Angry you got when I told you have to say.
I don't work for you.
No, I know, but
if my boss came in and told me from now on, when you answer the phone, you have to say whatever, then I would have to say it because it's his business. But he owns the business. He's the boss. I understand that.
But I just was able to pull that from you that once you were told what you have to say, you got angry.
I got angry because you told me, like you said, from now on, you have to say this. I don't have to listen to you.
No, what really came out was your true feelings.
Absolutely not, because you were being ridiculous. You were trying to compare.
That is ridiculous.
You were comparing Memorial Day. You were comparing Memorial Day to Christmas.
It's ridiculous to tell people.
That's what's ridiculous.
Merry Christmas is. You can't say that. Say Happy Holiday.
When you say these people, are you talking about business owners to their employees?
No, I'm talking about the political correct.
Who's this? Who's the political correct left that's saying you have to do this? Where is this?
Hey,
nobody's saying that you have to do this.
Whether you want to say it or not,
nobody's
everybody knows
that
that is what happens.
No, not everybody knows that. That is not what was happening.
Okay, then what was happening? Why did they change from Merry Christmas when we were kids?
Because it's something that's being created by idiots like Bill O'Reilly. They're making
You're
this
saying
into
that
something.
Bill O'Reilly's saying that
I'm saying he's making a big deal out of something that shouldn't be made a big deal out of. You'll have a few isolated incidents, and that's it. And he calls it a war on Christmas for crying out loud. So you mean
to tell me it's a few isolated? You haven't seen this grow and grow and grow, and then over the last couple of years, thank God, it has gone the opposite way. You have not seen this.
No.
Oh, man, you are blind.
No, I just don't watch Fox News all day long like you.
It's not just Fox News. I didn't watch Fox News when I went to Walmart. I didn't watch Fox News when I went to Toys R Us.
But you are making two different points here. You're talking a business, and then you keep saying the political correct left.
Yes.
So stop doing that, because business is different. Whatever the business owner wants the employees to do, but you're saying the politically correct left is making people do this, and I want to see where that's happening. You haven't been able to show me that. You keep saying I go into Walmart.
Because it's not a written thing.
Then who's making anybody do it?
Do you think it's a Republican thing? Do you think it's a Christian thing?
I think it's a Christian thing making a big deal about this. Yes, I do.
Do you think it's a Christian thing saying don't say Merry Christmas?
No.
Well, obviously not. And I'm Republican and I'm Christian, so everything else other than that would be politically correct.
But I don't know who's making people not say Merry Christmas.
I don't know, and if I found them, I would tell you. But it is something.
But you know it's happening, but you don't know where.
And you don't know it's happening. You have not seen it. That's what I don't understand.
I haven't seen this politically correct left making people not say Merry Christmas like you say is happening. I haven't seen that.
You know what? I'm done. I'm done. Because it doesn't matter. It's like talking to a wall with you. Because
you're making
obviously
something is being made. Something is being made bigger than it really is.
Everybody sees it.
That's
it's out there.
Not everybody
but you
sees
pretend
it.
not to see it. You put the blinders on like you
always
do. I'm done.
Guys like Bill. I'm not done.
I am.
You got guys like Bill O'Reilly that take this little thing and they just drive it into the ground and they try and create something that's not there. That's not there.
Again, you don't see it.
It's not there. You can't see it if it's not there.
It's there.
It's not there.
There.
It is not there.
It is there. You want to take the next one? Because you did write the next one down.
Okay, what was the next one we were going to talk about?
Well, forget it if you're not ready. It's space exploration.
Well, I didn't know. There's more than one on here.
No, the next one down on the list.
Okay. We got an email from Arlen asking. He was. I don't have the email in front of us right now. It was actually a couple weeks ago, and he was basically saying, "Why are we wasting so much money going to space?"
I don't believe we are.
I don't think we are either.
I mean, I watched the launch on Saturday of the new space rover that's going to go to Mars. Things like the size of a car.
Yeah,
and it's nuclear powered, which is really interesting. It's over $1 billion, but it keeps kids interested in science, and we need to do that.
Well, science is very important. I agree with you there, and I've been doing a lot of research since we got that email, trying to find like benefits versus whether it's actually worth it to have our space program, and it's really hard to actually get an exact answer from anybody, because it depends on what you think a benefit is. You know, different people have different definitions of what benefits are. Some people want to see something actually tangible, you know, and, you know, they'll say, well, you spent billions of dollars to send this, you know, this rover to Mars. Are we going to get $1 billion back from that? And the answer in the short term is probably no. But in the long term, you know, out in space is forever, you know, and there could be lots of resources out there. There could be undiscovered resources that we don't know about that can be beneficial to us.
It's, I believe, an investment for the future.
I agree.
It's an actual investment. I mean, a lot of things that the government does is just throwing money away. This is not throwing money away. This is an investment.
In your opinion, it's not. In my opinion, it's not. There are people who disagree with that, though.
Well, and that's fine.
People will look at this and say it is throwing money away.
If everybody agreed with everything, then what kind of world would it be?
Right.
But, and that's exactly...
But I want to, you know, we're sitting here kind of agreeing on something. There is another side to this, though.
Okay.
You know, where there are people who really do think it's just an absolute waste of money and that money could be put towards something different.
What would they have it put towards?
Well, I mean, you know, there's lots of things, you know, you can rattle,
I would rather see money going to NASA to inspire kids, inspires me. I mean, I'm not a kid. I'm an adult. That inspires the heck out of me to possibly investing in our future. I mean, I'll throw the possible out. Maybe nothing will come of it. But
right.
I would rather see that than the money wasted on some stupid entitlement program that we don't need.
Well, you don't need to compare. I don't think you need to compare it to that. I think that there's, you know, I can
compare it to anything I want.
Yeah.
No, I don't. Maybe I
and
need
you
to
will
or not. But you know, I'd rather see it that than turn around and say, well, I tell you what, we're going to give everybody a 5-week paid holiday.
Well,
heck with that.
That's not what.
No, I'm just saying what I'd
it's
rather
not an either
see.
or thing. It's not like they're.
Yeah, but I'm just saying the money to me is going to good use because you know what? It's not going into the hands of people who I think are wasting money. That's where I'm at on that. What do you want me to say?
Well, okay.
I mean, what do you want me to say? You want me to change it? I mean, I'm not going to change my view on it. So.
Well, we know that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, did you read that was in Fox News this week? Actually, this happened. Back in 2008, forged signatures allowed the Democrats to add people to the primary ballot in Indiana. On this particular ballot that they found, there was signatures on there from people who did not sign it. They went to the actual person who signed it, asked them, because you know it's public knowledge, these things, did you sign this? And they said no, obviously they didn't. And they had a handwriting expert compare the handwriting on that to the handwriting to a clerk in the registrar of voters office, and they compared it to him, and there was like a lot, 180 or something signatures on this.
I think it was 40. I think it was 40.
No, there was 180 on that one.
Okay.
But they don't know if they compared all of them, but they did compare a lot of them to him. And either party, either party.
Yeah, I don't think that this is I was interested which direction you were going to go with this. You sent me the article, but we like everything else, we don't really discuss it beforehand. We just get on here and talk about it. I was interested what direction you were going to go with. A couple questions. I mean, do you think it's a Democratic thing, or do you think?
I think they do it more than the Republicans because they've been caught before. Acorn,
ridiculous.
They were caught before with.
I mean, I did a search and I found just 2 right off the bat of Republican.
Of course, because you probably searched.
Of course, I did because I wanted to show you that it's anything.
Now, if you just dropped in a search that false signatures on a ballot. Would you come
voter fraud is not a Republican or Democratic thing. Voter fraud is a.
I'm sure both parties do it.
And let me ask you this: on this was the particular one that you found was on a signature to get Obama on the ballot.
Yeah.
You think he was behind that?
No. Do I think that there was a Democrat behind it? Yes, because the guy who was in the office,
of course,
he was on it. Do I think that he did it on his own?
No. This is the reason why whenever I go to a store or whatever and they have somebody with petitions out there, I never sign any of that stuff ever, no matter how convincing the guy is or the lady that it's something that I would believe in, because they're just trying to collect signatures.
Well, let me ask you something.
So they're not always honest with what you're signing.
Do you know who the contractor is that those people work for?
No. No,
Have you
I
ever
don't.
heard of Acorn?
You're just talking about Acorn I'm not talking about just for.
No. But I want to ask you some questions. I'm not trying to trap you. I'm asking.
I heard of Acorn. Yes.
Because that's something they do. That's what they do. That's what the company does. Is political canvassing, and they also do stuff like that.
Right.
Now, was Acorn involved in this? They don't know yet. But Acorn was in a lot of charges. It had a lot of charges against it in Illinois. Is the president from Illinois? Yes. Does he know? No, I'm not saying he knows.
Are you trying to connect him? Are you trying to connect him to this?
What I'm saying is, everybody, well, not everybody. I'm not going to say everybody because you're one of the everybody's in the world who just doesn't know. But Acorn has been connected to a lot of these things, a lot of these scandals. I don't have the exact number. If you want to know the exact number, pull it up.
I haven't heard. Actually haven't heard Acorn in the news for quite a while.
No,
but
because
a while ago they were in the
after
news
the 2008 election, that was it. Nobody trusts them anymore. Acorn was involved. Acorn was primarily Democratic. They were a lot of their things that the canvassing they did was paid for the Democrat National Committee. So, were they involved in this? I don't know. Do they do? Is there voter fraud? Absolutely. Is there voter fraud on both sides? Yes, there is. Do I believe there's a little tip of a scale?
Of course,
yes,
you do.
Well, there you go.
But that doesn't mean anything. I remember when Bush was running, all over the news. Can I finish here?
Yeah.
I remember when Bush was running, all over the news, they were talking about how they were, all these Republican groups were trying to keep Democrats from voting, and you heard all that all over the news, and that doesn't mean that it's even truthfully being reported. You just heard all that because that was at the time when Bush was running, when Bush was the president. You just hear that stuff. I don't think that it's Republicans do it more than Democrats. I don't think Democrats do it more than Republicans. I think it's just anybody that's involved with politics. That's who's guilty here. Politicians or people who are involved with it. I don't think it's a Democrat or Republican thing. I know you do, but I don't. I just think that it's
no. I think.
But I do think that I also did one of the things that I read is all these people are talking about voter fraud, and actually it is a very, very small problem. They've calculated so far.
Because there's 300 million people.
Right.
And at 300 million people, 60 million, 70 million vote? So if you have voter fraud of a million,
they said it wasn't even that high. It wasn't even that high though. It was like 0.00002% is what I had read today.
Well, that's probably of the general.
That they've of all voting that they've determined was fraudulent.
Yeah. Well, I think it is low, but I do think...
So I don't think it's maybe the problem that everybody thinks it is, because with anything, you're going to have fraud. You're going to.
What do you do with this guy?
Well, this guy, if they find out that he was, whatever they're accusing him of, if they find out that he did it, then he needs to be punished. Very good. Absolutely. Anybody who does that. Just like people who send out, messages to voters telling them not to come out and vote and stuff like that, they need to go to they need to be punished too, maybe serve some jail time. That's you're supposed to want everybody to vote. You're not supposed to disenfranchise people, and you're certainly not supposed to fake signatures and all that type of stuff, and people need to go to jail for that, I think.
Well, I have a question. What would you say for okay, well, here's a question for you. Illinois. Now, the president came from all of a sudden nowhere, really. He was the first black senator. He spent less than 2 years in the Senate, then became president. He came from nowhere. Now, when he got elected president, he left his seat in the Senate. And as we all know, that the governor of Illinois at the time, Rod Blagojevich, was to appoint someone to his seat. So now we all know he sold that seat, or tried to sell it.
They had it. I remember hearing audio of that. He was really caught. They really caught this guy.
Yeah, they nailed him. They nailed him to the wall.
I'm surprised it's taken this long. Man, that was so long ago. He was almost off of the radar completely, and now that he's being sentenced, it's back on the radar again.
Do you think 14 years in prison is a fair sentence for him?
I don't know. I wouldn't have been upset if it was longer. 14 years seems like a long time anyways. So when I heard 14 years, I didn't think oh, he got away, you know? I mean, when you hear somebody, like, if you hear somebody kill somebody and end up getting 6 months, you think, oh, they got off, you know? So when I heard he got 14 years, I went, all right, well, you know, he's going to serve some time, you know? But if they came back and said 30 years, I wouldn't have had a problem with that either. You know, I mean, what he did was crooked and wrong. And once again, I don't think it was a Democratic or Republican. I know he happened to be a Democrat, but they're all crooks. I think they're all crooks. You have really started to change when it comes to government, because I actually kind of like it. They're all bought. They're all bought, and they're all crooks. And I'm tired of it. I'm just tired of it.
Interesting to hear you say that, because a couple of years ago you never would have said anything bad against your party, so that's great.
I say I'm not saying against. I'm not saying anything about any party. I'm saying all of them. I'm grouping them all into one party.
Who do you think knew, other than the senator or the governor,
that he was trying to sell the seat? I think his wife knew.
No. I mean, well, because here's the thing: they're sentencing him to 14 years, but don't you remember the gentleman who bought the seat to sit there was another black gentleman? What was his name? Gosh, I forgot his name.
It's not that Rangel guy, was it?
Rangoon or whatever his name?
I don't think he ended up. No, I don't think he was the one. I think he's the one who ended up getting it, but I don't think he was involved with the buying of the seat.
Well, that's the question. Somebody had to know. Somebody had to know what he was up to. Aren't they culpable too?
I don't know if somebody. I think that when he first started, because I think that this kind of was surprising people how, I mean, open he was about trying to benefit from this. And I think when he first started trying to, let's say, auction off the seat, people were like, whoa. And that's when they instantly started like recording his conversations and stuff. So I don't know if there was actually anybody that was like part of it with him. I think that the people that he was, you know, maybe approaching to try and get benefits from are the ones that kind of helped bust him.
Well, I was just wondering, because I was wondering if not that the president had anything to do with it, but I wondered if he knew about it and then, you know, didn't.
I don't think this was one of those things where he was making deals with people and other people were recording it. I think he was making deals with people, and the people he was trying to make deals with were the ones that were recording it. I think this is something that was actually caught on to relatively quickly. And I don't think it was like, oh, they have some, you know, a backroom deal going and stuff. I don't think he had enough time to do that. I think he got busted from the get-go on this one.
Well, I'm glad too, because he needed to.
Absolutely.
He needed to go down.
Yeah.
My gosh, we have a lot of stories to talk to, but I know we have an email, and I think you want to go ahead and talk about it. So go ahead, throw it out there.
All right. This is an email that I got. It was to me, but it said, basically, tell the fat man that it's not the liberal media. It's now the corporate media. This is why the Occupy movement does not get fair coverage. And that is from, we'll just use his first name, that is from Mike. And I have to say I agree with Mike.
Tell the fat man or ask the fat man? So I have a question for you, Mike.
It said, tell fat man that it is not the liberal media.
Okay, so Mike, I have a couple questions for you. Here, let's break down what you just said. Tell fat man it's not the liberal media, it is now the corporate media. So does that mean it was the liberal media?
I think that it was at one time.
Is that what he's saying?
That must be what he's saying.
Why isn't the Occupy?
Well, he does not. No, that's not what he's saying. I'm sorry.
I see.
He says, "Tell the media, tell fat man that it is not the liberal media. It is." Well, he says it is now the corporate media, but he's still not saying. He's still not saying it was ever the liberal media. He's just saying that it is now corporate media. He didn't say.
Well, then what was it?
Maybe it was the media. Maybe it was just the media before, because he's not saying.
Maybe,
he's
but
not
I think
saying,
we can read into this, Mike. And if Mike, I want you, if you,
it is. He doesn't say it is not the liberal media anymore. He doesn't say that.
I would like you to.
So you're putting words into his
show,
mouth.
But I will. But I will talk about it.
Okay.
I think they've been getting pretty good coverage this week in the fact that they're getting thrown out of everywhere they are. And in the process of throwing them out, they're seeing all the real negative stuff that they had been doing and they are doing in the process of getting thrown out. Do I think it's corporate media? Well, yeah. Hello. We are not corporate, but we're working on getting sponsorships and other things. Now, will that change what we talk about? I hope not. I mean, I want to be able to talk about anything I want to talk about. You want to be able to talk about anything you want to talk about, but things are not free. Yeah, we've talked about that. Things are not free. And you know what? You need sponsorship. And, you know, if we have a store, like say we get sponsored.
corporation, and I don't think, if I'll speak for Mike, I don't think he's anti-corporation either, because my guess is he works, and if you work, you're most likely working for a corporation anyways.
Well,
I think what, most people and most of this 99% movement is people who are against corporations buying our politicians. I
don't think that's most. I think that's
most.
That is if that was
such a huge problem.
Absolutely it of them. Then you know what?
That's not. I didn't say that was it.
They would have got that through, but they really didn't.
I didn't say that was it.
Now, do you think they're not getting fair coverage?
Yeah. I don't think they're getting fair coverage.
I think at the beginning they got a lot of coverage.
I think at the beginning they got no coverage.
Are you kidding me? It was on the news constantly. We talked about it.
Yeah, but that was not at the beginning. At the beginning it was ignored.
That was pretty much the beginning.
No, it was.
I mean, it was within a couple of days of.
It was ignored.
Really
it didn't get the coverage that the teabaggers got.
No, because the Tea Party did it differently. They were much better organized. They had much better.
Well, they had corporate backing.
Who?
I don't know.
See, you're just talking off your head.
I'm pulling a fat man here.
Yeah, come on. And you blame me about that all the time.
I can do some research and see.
I
bet you they did have corporate backing though.
Then maybe they did. I think they get plenty.
So you agree with me?
No, I don't agree with you. I said maybe.
Yeah.
What do you want me to constantly say you're wrong? Everybody knows you're wrong. Once in a while I want to protect my little friend.
I'm going to say probably they're wrong. They had
I don't think probably. Backing. They could, but I don't think probably. Okay. No. I'm not going to go with probably.
All right. I'm going to go with probably. Even though that's just my opinion.
Anyway, Mike, I think that they've gotten enough coverage. I'm tired of the whole movement. I think that they're in organization, and the bad apples that he says only a few grew to too many, and that's what
those happened. Are the ones that are getting the coverage. That's what's getting most of the coverage is the bad apples, which is the way the news is anyways. I get how that works.
Well, that's what happened.
How often do you see on the news and they say, this great thing happened, or everything went just fine. They you don't hear about that. You hear about the bad apples and you hear about what went wrong. That's what the news is.
We were talking about that earlier today, that it's pretty slow news day. I mean, what's happening in Virginia Tech, of course, that's big news, and we're not talking about it on here because right as we're taping the show, it's not all done. I mean, We don't know what's going on there. But it's been pretty slow news. So when there's slow news, they'll throw something in. So if it's slow news and there was something really important about the Occupy movement happening, I'm pretty sure it would come out. I think people are just done with it. Okay. I mean, it doesn't matter to us. We're not corporate. We can talk about it all day long. But neither one of us came up with anything good about it. Right?
Right.
So there you go. I am disgusted today. Disgusted to hear this. This is... I was so angry when I first heard this.
This is the Air Force?
Yes.
All right.
Air Force dumped ashes of more troops. Of more. See, now I'm going to talk about this older article, or this newer article, which is going to get you enraged, I hope, about the fact that this happened before. The Air Force dumped more ashes of troop remains in a Virginia landfill. Now, when I read that headline, the first thing that came to my mind is, more? First off, what? Did you read this?
I read the article. I'm trying to see, because I think that this is just coming out now, but this hasn't happened for 3 years. This was like 3 years ago this happened.
Well, that's what I'm trying to...
It was stopped 3 years ago.
But why did it ever happen? So this is what the Air Force says, is that in Afghanistan and Iraq, they would find body parts, and thousands of different body parts. Now, they didn't know who they would belong to. The fact that DNA was so expensive, and it could be that just somebody had... terrible, lost a hand, lost a thumb, lost this, and they would just dispose of them in the landfill. That's what they originally said. Mm-hmm. But then what it came out to is there was bodies that were so destroyed that there was no way to identify them except for DNA. And they would tell the families, there's no body for you to bury, so there's no ability. Would you like us to take care of it? I'm so livid. They would cremate these the remains of the bodies. Like I said, it wasn't full bodies. And then they were dumping them in a local landfill.
Now, this was all happening between 2004 and 2008, and it's just now coming out, right?
No, it came out then, and they stopped it. And then apparently they did it again. 274 thousands of body parts, but 274 soldiers. I'm absolutely disgusted.
I don't see anywhere where it says it's happened since 2008.
Well, no, they were talking about it today because it happened. That's why the news said today.
I think that
they acknowledged doing it again in 2010.
I have to. I can't. I'm looking really hard right now, and I cannot find where they say it happened in 2010. I see where it's coming out now, but it. You know, I want to make sure that we're correct on this. I don't see where it said anything where it's happened since 2008. It's just now becoming. You know, people have been kind of fighting to get the actual records and that type of stuff released.
Well, I read it earlier because that's why this.
And I read the article earlier, and I've done some looking myself, and I think you misread. I don't see where it's happened. It was stopped in 2008, and it hasn't happened since. But people, you know, I mean, you know, it doesn't make it any more right or wrong. But I'm saying it's not still happening. This is something that was stopped in 2008.
No. I know it said that they did it again. Okay. That's why they said
find that for me because I can't.
We'll have to go. I'll put it online as soon as I find it. Actually, I did put it on the website. You know what? I don't have the website in front of me, but I did put it on there.
I couldn't see where it said
What upsets me anyway is why is this acceptable practice in the first place?
Right.
I mean, really.
No, I agree. Now, they were saying something about these were... Was it maybe also where some of the bodies were not claimed by the families?
Who cares?
No,
I know. I'm not upset with you. I'm just saying. Well, I'm just very upset about this whole thing. So
what I'm saying is these were some of the bodies that were not claimed by the families, but they were supposed to get a decent burial or whatever, and instead they basically just incinerated them and dumped them in a landfill. That's what, you know, the fact that I don't think that it was that the military just took these bodies and burned them. You know, I mean, I think some of the families had the opportunity and they just decided, you know, we don't, you know, you do with what you should, you know, what you're supposed to do with it. And we're expecting that the right thing was going to be done, and the right thing was not done. But I don't think that, I don't think it's happened since 2008. I think it stopped back then. I think that some of the news of it is all just coming out now.
Well, I'm not sure. Okay, and that's true. I don't want to say that I know. I'm going crazy. You're trying to find it, but I can't find it.
I can't find it either.
All right. All right.
I mean, it's still.
Don't we have? And I've seen it because I was at Arlington. We have these cemeteries that, you know, will even have unknown soldiers, you know, tombs, all kinds of things. This is something that I you know what? I'm so upset about it. I don't talk about it anymore.
And, you know, you get the fact that if you have a bunch of, you know, body parts and stuff going through all the DNA and stuff, it would be really costly and all of that type of stuff.
Who cares? This is a human life. What's a human life worth? They gave the ultimate sacrifice for this country. You know what? Find out who they are. Fix it. Bury them correctly. I don't care if it's a thumbnail. That's the part that I really... you can give them a proper burial. You know, you don't have to dispose. They were disposed of. You know, that's not the right way to do it. These people gave the ultimate sacrifice, and that's one thing I did read was that they were worried about the costs. How could you worry about costs? I mean, come on, guys. But I did. You know what? And I'm sorry, guys, that I don't have the date, but I know that the article came out today because they admitted to doing it again, and I just don't know when they admitted to doing it. So
I couldn't find that.
We have one other topic I want to get through, and I think we're kind of running long again. This was sent in to us to the show. It was sent in anonymously through the suggest a link, that's fine. We don't mind if, you know, you don't have to put your name on it. I know a lot of people, I got a few emails this week said, you know, I really don't want my name put out there. Well, then don't put your name
Don't put your name out there.
And that's why on the website, the suggest a link is like that, because it's anonymous. You don't have to put your email address. You don't have to put it there. So, like when you send us an email, we see your return email address. But on that, just send it, you know. Yeah. Anyway, this particular person, who I don't know, male or woman, I have no I have no idea who it is. sent this on suggest the website. This comes from Boston. There's an 80-year-old woman who is being criminally charged for feeding ducks, actually feeding all kinds of fowl, in a town called Lynn. Actually, it's a county of Lynn and a town of Lynn. She has been doing this for about 45 years. She has been asked by the town council to stop, and there is an ordinance about feeding, just like there is here in our little town.
Right.
You can't feed the birds at our local pond we have in the middle of our lake. We have a lake here in town. Because, as we all know, you feed one, and 1,000 more come, kind of like homeless.
We'll say like the cats.
Oh, like the cats.
Yes.
And so this poor 80-year-old woman has been defying the law for quite some time. She has been cited numerous times, and she has been fined numerous times. Well, now they said, look, the judge told her last week, the only thing we have left is to throw you in jail. Okay, she's 80 years old, but she's constantly skirting the law. She's like, she thumbs her nose at them.
As bad as it sounds sending an 80-year-old woman to jail, whether you're 80 or 8, you have to follow the law.
Exactly.
And, just because you don't think the law is right does not give you the right to break it. If we've discussed many stuff. If you don't think that you should have to wear a helmet when you ride a motorcycle, then you need to fight the law. But that doesn't mean ride without a helmet, because the law says you have to wear a helmet. She's an 80-year-old sweet lady who brings shopping carts full of food to the pond. And, they're tired of seeing bird crap all over the place. And that's there's a reason. They don't just say, hey, let's make let's be mean to 80-year-old lady law. They have reasons for the laws, Well,
what's funny about this whole thing is that they actually they did surveillance at night and caught her with carts full of food. They have videos. You know what? I'm going to post this link on the website under the Fat Man page, but they really did like a covert mission to find her doing this.
The thing is, it's a law, and the law is there for a reason. Oh, come on. We got to tell a story. I don't know how much time we have.
We have time. Tell the story.
Okay. When Fat Man and I, we had only been friends for maybe a couple years. We went camping with another friend of ours,
who I'm still very upset with.
Oh, friend. Yeah, you were really upset with him because he invited me and I snored in your tent.
Yes,
I know.
That's why I'm upset.
I know. That's right. You blamed him for the whole time.
I blame him for that terrible weekend that we have because he got to sleep in a nice comfy tent, and he brought another huge tent, which was like something you would have in the Sahara Desert, and I had to sleep in there with this guy who snores like I've never, ever heard, but he's got to finish the story.
The reason why you've never heard it is because let me tell you something, you snore too. I'm just a heavier sleeper than you. But you saw the logs yourself, my friend.
There's no way I did that night. I didn't sleep at all that night. So you didn't hear me snoring at all.
Here's the deal. We were there. Our daughters, I think, were there too. They were in the tent already. And Fat Man and I are just hanging out, at the campsite, just talking. I think we had a fire and we're sitting there and now when I tell the story, he's gonna refer to me as little boy. That's not. He called me by my name, but we'll use that. He's sitting there and he goes, "Hey, little boy, look, a skunk." And then he just turned his head, and I was gone, cartoon style,
gone.
I had unzipped the tent, dove in, zipped it back up with Fat Man still out there before he even realized I was gone. And him and both of our daughters made so much fun of me because I was petrified of this skunk.
That's not even the word. It was cartoon style. I mean, I'm sitting there talking to him, all right? We're sitting across a picnic table. The skunk's over that way. And so all I'm doing, he's right here in front of me. I turn like this and I go, "Oh, check it out. There's two." I said, "There's two skunks over there." And I turned around and I thought, well, he's not talking to me, I turned around and look at, what the? He was
I was gone. Not only was I in the...
We were a good 50 yards from the tent. He was in the tent.
And then laying flat on the ground.
Laying down on the ground.
So I couldn't be seen. I was petrified. I'm scared of skunks.
He's so scared of skunks that even a stuffed skunk...
The stuffed skunk only scares me a tiny bit, but which is ridiculous because it's stuffed, but it's a skunk. It's a dirty, filthy skunk. Get it out of here. And from that point forward, it was just always been a joke because I was seriously petrified of that skunk.
That whole night, he was so... Well, and this is how it is. He tells me, so I'm watching the skunks. I don't care. I live on a farm, so animals, whatever. And so I get into the tent about a half hour later after I'm just laughing so hard I thought I was going to pass out. And my kid is laughing and his daughter's laughing. And we're just, it was hysterical. So we get into the tent and he's telling us, well, I'm never going to get to sleep tonight. I'm just never going to be able to sleep. And I went, wow, man, it's not that bad. He's gone. Next thing I know, that's all I said. Wow, it's not that bad. He's gone. I turned around. He's passed out, sound asleep, but starts snoring with this snore that I could never get over. And till this day, our other friend with us, I blame him for everything.
Yes.
You know what? That was a good story. We got a few other ones. I think we'll throw a few others in and out. You know what? It was a good show, little boy. I don't want to continue with it. I think we're good because we're right at about 40 minutes.
Yes.
And I think that's a pretty good number. Let's give out some information. What do you think?
Yeah, that sounds good. You can email the show at comments at fatmanandlittleboy.com.
Or, of course, you could use a suggest a link like the person who did with the 80-year-old woman. Thank you very much.
Right on the website, fatmanandlittleboy.com. Check out the new website for those of you who haven't. We've had well over 1,000 people check it out already, which is amazing.
In the first day.
Yeah.
I mean, as soon as the show came out, because the site went live and then the show came out, well over, boom, 1,000 hits instantly.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many YouTube views we've had so far, but most people seem to be watching it from the website, and it's been... this is the most. Our last show was the most watched show by far. It is amazing that like I always tell you, I'm amazed how many people want to actually sit and watch and listen to us. As much fun as I have.
After today, they might not want to, but hey. You got to go on to the next one. The next one's just as good. Okay. So that was great. I love the new website. We've done some changing to it today.
A lot of work.
You can get in touch with me at fatman@fatmanandlittleboy.com.
I'm at littleboy@fatmanandlittleboy.com.
You can get me on Twitter at fatmanshow.
And I'm at littleboyshow.
And I'm on Twitter a lot.
Yeah, he's on Twitter more than I am. I try as much as I can. Twitter, of course, is blocked at my work, so I have less time. Yeah, I can use the phone and do it. So
you can get in touch with the show at PLMB Crew.
Yep, and that's on Twitter also.
And you can give us a phone call.
858-522-9164. We didn't have enough time to play that the message we were going to play.
Darn it, again.
Oh, we've got a few more now, so we can go through, and if that one's not quite current enough, we'll just have to pick a new one, because I do want to do a voicemail.
If you are a podcaster or netcaster and you're watching our show and you need some help producing that show or putting it up online, let us know. Give the show a email at comments@fatmanandlittleboy.com. We are partnering with a very large company who will be helping us with our new server system.
Yep.
And we want to help you out by getting you online, getting your video set up, and maybe you could even come to our new studio.
Yeah, if you're in the San Diego area and you want to give, either you thought you'd want to do a video cast or a podcast, come on by. We would love to see any ideas. I think anybody who wants to do anything like this, is a great idea to give it a try. It's a lot of fun. It took Fat Man a little convincing for me. I was a little bit nervous about it. But
you did it.
But I did it, and it is a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun doing the show.
So if you decide you want to try it and you just don't want to spend any money, you just want to see how you look on TV, give us a call.
Yeah, give us a call.
Well, little boy, I think that's it.
I think that's it. I think we covered everything.
Good show.
Yeah.
You got me going there a little bit.
Well, that's because
I don't normally show anger on the show. You're the one who can't control himself.
When you realize how wrong you are, sometimes it makes you mad. That's fine.
Never been wrong. Just have been incorrect. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching this podcast. Again, second week of December 2011.
Yep.
And we will see you real soon.
Take care.